Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and another episode of DNA Saturday, which is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in DNA bombs. Those are the great class we're going to be using throughout the entirety of this gameplay. If you guys would like, you can go back and pause the video, that way you can get a good look at the class, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I will be talking about the class setup throughout this video, unlike the last episode we did with the M1 Irons, where I completely forgot to talk about the Craig class. How embarrassing is that? But basically I want to talk about the M1 Irons and things of that nature throughout the entirety of the video. Before I knew it, the DNA bomb was over. It was kind of insane, but that was last week. We're talking about this week where we're going to be running around with the XMGs here on the map Solar, and this DNA bomb is being brought to you courtesy of Chaos HD, who is a fantastic player. If you guys would like to check out his YouTube channel, it is going to be at the very top of the video description. But before we talk about his channel, I want to talk a bit about the XMGs, and correct me if I'm wrong here, people. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe I've gone crazy after all my years here on YouTube. But when I look at the XMGs here, do they not remind you, or I guess it should be the other way around, but does the Reaper Specialist ability, the Scythe ability in Black Ops 3, not remind you of the XMGs while they're in lockdown mode? Right? They're like the exact same thing. I'm like, wow, that is an amazing specialist ability, because you look at the XMGs when they're in lockdown mode, they're ridiculously powerful. The downside, of course, is you're basically a stationary target, right? And you have to actually move around and such like that. Like, basically, you have to rotate if you want to try and get kills, but you're basically sitting duck at that point when you're actually in lockdown mode. What the Reaper Specialist ability does, and as we pick up a 5-man feed right there at the XMG, what the Reaper Specialist ability basically does for you in Black Ops 3 is it gives you this power, but basically unlimitedly. It's kind of insane. It's also similar to the Death Machine that we saw from previous Call of Duty games as a kill streak. It's just such an insane ability. So good. And after seeing the XMGs here and how it reminds me so much of the Reaper in Black Ops 3, I'm like, wow, I kind of really want to mess around with these things. But truth be told, I haven't been on Advanced Warfare really since the beta ended. I was on for a bit. We did a supply drop opening video and I ended up getting an M16 and an AK-47, and I played a few games with those guns. But then the game like glitched out on me to the point I actually have an unlisted video on this, and I was talking about it on Twitter as well, where basically whenever I would try to pick either one of those weapons, it would just automatically give me like a naked ball 27 with no camos, no attachments, nothing else on it. So it was kind of weird that happened, and since then I just haven't been on Advanced Warfare. I've been playing a lot of Madden 16 because of course that game came out, doing stuff for that on my Let's Play channel as well as Heroes of the Storm. But that's terrible timing when you think about it, because I have all of you guys add on Xbox and PlayStation now for open lobbies. We're yet to do a single open lobby. I think we're definitely going to get that started this week, so hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys are around sometime in the afternoon this coming week, because I definitely am going to be doing some open lobbies on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And I think one of the weapons I'm primarily going to be running around with, at least for the first couple of days, is going to be the XMGs, because if everyone on my team is going to be a subscriber, and everyone on the opposing team is going to be a subscriber, I want to have some fun with it, you know. I don't want to run around with like assault rifles and submachine guns. I want to run around with XMGs and EM1s and stuff like that. I think that could be pretty cool, and hopefully I see you guys in there. But keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of people trying to get into those open lobbies, right? There's going to be several hundred people online at any given time on the Xbox or the PlayStation, and there's only a very limited number of people that can actually make it into the lobby. So if you see me get online, stay tuned to get to my profile quickly and try and join session as fast as possible, because spots are definitely going to be filling up pretty quickly. But with that out of the way, as we've been watching him just completely dominate this half of the map with his XMGs, let's talk a little bit about the Craig class before the DNA bomb actually becomes acquired. So the XMG, he's using this bare bones XMG, absolutely no variance whatsoever. He is actually using the laser sight, the extended mag, and rapid fire. Rapid fire is actually a very popular choice for this, because when you're in lockdown mode, even when you're not in lockdown mode, I suppose, that increased fire rate makes it so this gun just melts people even more than it usually would. And of course, you're going to want to have laser sight on a hip fire only weapon. It's going to tighten up that hip fire spread when you're not in lockdown mode. And right there is actually where we pick up the DNA bomb, as well as extended mags, because if you're going to have rapid fire on there, you're going to be burning through ammo. Extended mags, you're obviously going to be able to see a benefit there. Low profile, blind eye, toughness, which toughness is an interesting one. I actually don't see a lot of people using toughness on the XMG, as well as scavenger for increased ammo. Just a really basic class. There's not really a whole lot to the class. Nothing really amazing about it, which I've noticed that a lot in Advanced Warfare. A lot of the classes are really the same. Low profile, blind eye. Most classes have toughness and most classes have scavenger on them. It's just what people usually see in the run. So whenever I go through the Craig class, it's more about the attachment and the weapon variant as compared to the perks, because the perks really don't seem to change all too much between gameplays, which I think is definitely an interesting little note. But there, ladies and gentlemen, we have the final score. 65 kills along with 6 deaths. So his team did lose. It was definitely a losing effort there. They lost lost 102 to 170 in the game of domination. They were pub stomping it, right? They were kill horroring it. They were trying to max out the time limit in domination, make it be a 10-minute long match, which they definitely accomplished that. Any of the two people he was playing with, who of course went 63-4, and his other friend went 54-5, they were definitely stomping there. They had a random person on their team that went 56-3. Like, look at the opposing team's scores and their ranks, man. They were definitely pub stomping it pretty hard here, but he did get a DNA bomb running around the XMG, and I think that's still pretty cool. And now that we're like in the super late part of Advanced Warfare's life cycle, I think we're going to see a lot more of this. People are just here to have fun. You know, they're not trying to win every game. They're not trying to make their combat records better. They're just in there to have some fun and get some kills and just enjoy their time before Black Ops 3 comes out. And I think that's what we saw here in this video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed Mr. Chaos HD's DNA Bomb. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel be deserves. And if you guys would like to submit your DNA bombs for next week's episode of DNA Saturday, simply watch the video that's on your screen right now. There's an annotation you guys can click, as well as a link to it down there in the video description. Either or, it will actually take you over there to that video in a brand new tab, and you can learn everything you would ever want to know about submitting your stuff for DNA Saturday. If you guys would like to go ahead and check out Mr. Chaos HD, who of course was the fantastic player that we saw here in this video, you can do so by clicking the annotation on your screen or by clicking the link down there in the video description, which will both take you over to his YouTube channel. If you want to click the link in the description, it's actually the very first link up there. It's always at the very top of these episodes of DNA Saturday. Over there, he posts up lots of DNA bombs and lots of high-scoring gameplay. And one interesting thing I noticed, like going through some of his videos, was, you know, some people like to make montages, like they make videos kind of showing off some really cool kills they get. Well, he makes videos showing off really cool deaths that he gets. So basically, he likes to spotlight really BS deaths that he has in the Call of Duty franchise, which I'm sure we can all relate. And I'm actually, as I watch some of those videos, I'm like, yeah, I've seen that before. You know, in Advanced Warfare, where you're just running away from somebody, or you're running around a corner, and some guy just melees the air with his little falcon punch, and it somehow hits you, even though on his screen you're not even on his screen. It's so annoying when that happens, right? He makes videos kind of highlighting that kind of stuff, and they're definitely comical in nature. But aside from that, he has a lot of really amazing gameplay. He's not a super frequent uploader, but when he does upload, you know the gameplay is going to be fantastic. And he is actually under 500 subscribers, therefore does not have a custom URL. Therefore, if you guys would like to find his YouTube channel, again, simply click the annotation on your screen or click the link at the very top of the video description to check him out. And I definitely recommend you guys do, because he is a fantastic player. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.